Hey there, Keller Williams. This is Bryson from KWU, and today we'll be learning how to sync your contacts to command using Piesync. Piesync is an application that will allow you to sync your contacts to command from other contact databases you use. With Piesync's two-way syncing, you're able to keep your data current in both systems, which will allow you to get the most out of your customer data. If you go to piesync.com, click Help, search for KW Command, and click the KW Command Partnership article from the list of results, you'll find a list of real estate applications that you can connect to KW Command through Piesync, which are free to use. Your first and largest connection is free, and any connections after that are 50% off. The pricing for that is based on how many contacts are syncing and how many rules you're setting up. To learn more about the pricing plans, you can click this link right here. Now that we know what Piesync is all about, let's get started. First, log into agent.kw.com with your KW login credentials. Once you're logged in, go ahead and click your name in the top right-hand corner, then click Settings from the drop-down. Once you reach this page, go ahead and scroll all the way down until you see Piesync, then click Connect Account. Then a window will appear displaying Piesync's terms and conditions, and once you finish reviewing it, you can go ahead and click I accept. And as you can see, here is the list of available services to connect through KW Command with Piesync. Once you've identified the application you wish to connect to Command, go ahead and click it. And here is where you will give Piesync permission to sync your accounts by signing into your account you wish to sync your Command contacts with. So go ahead and follow the prompts. Next, you will configure your connection. You have your connection rules, your connection settings, and also your field mappings. By default, there will be a two-way connection. For example, if I were to add a contact to Google, then that contact will automatically be added to KW Command, and vice versa. However, you can click these arrows to change the connection to a one-way. And as you can see, this arrow means that there would only be a sync from Google to KW Command, whereas this arrow means that there would only be a sync from KW Command to Google. So for this example, we'll go with a one-way connection between Google and KW Command. Now we can move on to the next section. Each connection will have a rule, and within each rule, you'll add a filter and action. So let's say with this particular example, I were to skip this entire if section. That would mean if any type of contact is in Google, regardless of any information that is within it, it would automatically sync into KW Command. So be sure to keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and move on. If a contact in Google has a full name of any value, so any full name, and also has a phone number, then that contact will sync from Google to KW Command. Now we can discuss the then rule, and this would take place after the contact has pulled into your KW Command database. As you may or may not know, any contacts that are synced with Piesync will come into Command as a contact. So if you're wanting it to come in as a lead, you'll need to add an action that will mark that contact as a lead once it has synced from Google to Command. If you wanted a contact that synced over to Command to be updated with a custom tag, make sure you already have that custom tag created in your Command settings. Otherwise, it won't appear when you select the Add Tag action. Something else I'd like to mention is the fact that any contact or lead synced to Command with Piesync will come in with a lead source that will state that it was imported from Piesync. So if you wanted to change that, you'll need to add another then action that would update the lead source and override it with the CRM that you're syncing with. So in this example, it would be Google. So now let's review our connection rule in its entirety. If a contact is in Google and has a full name of any value and has a phone number, then it will sync from Google to KW Command and update the contact as a lead and update the lead source and overwrite with Google Contacts. And you can also enable or disable either of the syncs by clicking these two toggles here. Now that we have our connection rules set, we can configure our connection settings. For the avoid duplicate settings, if a contact has the same name as someone else in command, command will create a second contact. The only duplicate check is for emails. So if a contact has the same email address as someone else, command will block that contact. So it's important that you only sync contacts with email addresses since it's our only duplicate check in command. Now regarding the initial matchup, during the first sync, if you have a contact in both applications with two different values, you'll decide which value is taken into command. Then after that initial sync, it will follow whichever rules you have in place. And you will also have some other options that will be changed based on the application that you're connecting with. And down here, we'll move on to the field mappings. And by default, the major fields will already be mapped. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you can actually add a field mapping. Select that field. And if you are wanting to add additional field mappings for any custom fields that you may have, be sure that you create that prior to syncing your contacts with Piesync. Otherwise, it won't appear in this dropdown. And if there's a field mapping that you want to turn off, you can click this toggle right here. Then once you're finished, click Start Syncing Now. Then click Start Syncing again to confirm. And on this screen, you can actually monitor how many contacts have synced over from the application you've selected into command, and vice versa if it's a two-way sync. And at the bottom of this screen, you can see how many contacts were excluded, how many contacts failed to sync, and how many contacts were duplicates. Once your connection is finished, you can click Show Details to either pause the connection, disconnect the connection, refresh the connection, and also change the connection rules. Or you can click Connect More to connect to any additional applications that you may want. To learn more about Piesync, go ahead and click the question mark in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Click Keller Williams University and use the search. Thank you. Want to take your contacts to the next level? Check these videos out right here.